What is up, foodies, and welcome back to another episode. I woke up extremely stuffed up. I don't know if it's just all the traveling I've done the last couple of days, but today we are going to see the Oakland A's play the Houston Astros at the Oakland Coliseum. This is the last season that they will be at this stadium before they go to Sacramento and then eventually, have a full-time residency in Las Vegas. So this will probably be my last game at the Oakland Coliseum. Um, it's weird. It's very strange, to be honest. From the Bay Area, I spent a lot of time at the stadium. Ditched school, went on Wednesdays for the dollar days. Um, I love the stadium. I love the team as well. It's my second favorite team of baseball. But yeah, it's a mix of emotions. But let's just get right into this and see what we're gonna eat, see what we're gonna check out, and enjoy the last time at Oakland Coliseum. I actually lied. I went a few months later to the last Battle of the Bay, the San Francisco Giants versus the Oakland A's. I just felt like it was right. And both games, I got there a little early, and you're going to see some of the footage in here. And it's just sad to see that the Coliseum and then also Oracle Arena are just going to be abandoned soon. It's nuts. Everyone always hates on this exposed wiring, so I needed it in here. But let's get into this actual suite. And again, this entire Coliseum is a little run down. There's not a whole lot of renovations, and kind of, what is the point when they just literally left? But here is the bathroom. Again, not the best bathroom, but it was still super clean, and at least I didn't have to use the trough, that to pee in. And then you had a nice little kitchenette area. You had a fridge stocked with some water and drinks. And if you actually wanted to order more drinks, like for example, all those sodas, it was like $75. So don't do that. They give you about 12 hot dogs. They gave you a generous portion of popcorn, some chips and dip, and some chocolate chip cookies. Everything seemed to be pretty fresh. They brought this up instantly. It was super hot. And it was, yeah, better food than actually downstairs, which is kind of surprising. The popcorn was really good, but this French dip, I don't know, it was probably a super standard dip, but it was amazing, and it was one thing that I just kept eating. The popcorn was also good, but it's pretty standard. Here is the hot dog, and don't hate on my ketchup. I know a lot of people hate it, but I'm a kid at heart, and nothing is better than a view and a hot dog. I'm not sure what kind of meat it was, but it was just phenomenal. This is probably one of the best hot dogs that I've had in a really long time, especially at a ballpark. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It was just a really good hot dog. And of course, I needed dessert, so I had to rip open these chocolate chip cookies. This was all before the game, by the way. So of course, I ate all of this food. But these were the best chocolate chip cookies that I probably had. Like, these were phenomenal. It was super soft on the inside and a little bit harder on the outside, and they just had nice powdered sugar. But let's get into what the suite looks like. You had some comfy, slightly ripped seats. They were okay, and then you kind of had these, like, I don't know, movie theater seats too. And then you could hit the button, and you could either raise or lower the actual glass. And then there's glass on the side, so you could actually see the suites next to you on both sides, which was a little awkward at times because sometimes people will just be staring at you as you're, just eating your cookie or enjoying the game. So I thought that was a little odd. And here's footage of actually the Giants game. And this suite was actually a lot nicer than the previous one. So even though it's the same price and everything, but yeah, I mean, look at this view. You're a little bit higher up, but I think it was well worth it. I also got a Vita Blue bobblehead that day as well. Got in super early for both games, literally right when batting practice started. I just kind of wanted to soak it in. I mean, these are my last two games that I will ever be at the stadium unless they somehow come back, which I highly doubt it. And again, growing up here, I mean, this was just a beautiful place. I've always loved and cherished the Coliseum. I also went to like the second to last Raider game as well. And man, just look how beautiful this field is, regardless if you hate the stadium or not. Parkway is a little sad. Years ago when I was a kid, this used to be packed. But the last time I went, in 2019, this was also pretty dead. I mean, there used to be a bunch of stuff that you could eat and, get drinks from and everything. Here's the treehouse, which, I mean, if you've ever been to the Coliseum, most people grab their drinks at the treehouse. It's also just a really cool place to hang out, especially if you have kids. They have a lot of kid functions that you could do there. I got a Jack and Coke, and you could tell that these people did not care. They hooked it up. I think this whole cup is pretty much Jack, and there's just like a splash of Coke in there. And again, like I mentioned, there's some fun activities that you could do. And then the second time, I also got the same exact thing, Jack and Coke, and this lady gave me all Jack. This was wild. There was a good amount of people because it was actually MVPs or Hall of Fame signings. So this area was extremely packed. Shout out to Eric Chavez, my favorite Oakland A's baseball player, the third baseman. Loved him. Tejada, Jason Giambi, all those people I love to watch. Then you got, just some Hall of Famers up there. You got some really well-known A's players on these banners. Walking through this area is always pretty cool. You can always see the alumni and the people who used to play for the A's and really did a huge impact for this entire team. You can't also forget about the Stompers. I'm actually wondering what they're doing with those because I actually want one. And then again, you have some stuff outside for your kids. And it was just a beautiful day for both games. I mean, again, look at this place. Like, regardless if you hate this Coliseum or not, the field itself, like the landscaper and everyone that actually puts in all these designs, they just always do a phenomenal job. And yes, it is true, most of this Coliseum is concrete, as you can tell. It is very bizarre. I don't really know the logic behind it. Maybe it's because of earthquakes or whatever. But yeah, when I was just standing here kind of just taking it all in, it was just nice to kind of feel like I was a kid again with like my family and friends just enjoying another A's game. I will for sure miss the horns, the beating drums. As a kid, I always thought that was so cool. When I grew up, I wanted to be there in, the left field or right field, wherever it was. Anyways, let's get into some of the merchandise. They didn't have a whole lot. It seemed like a lot was sold out. Anything that also said Oakland was on discount. So, of course, I bought a couple things there. Regardless of what people said, the fan base always showed up for this team. And this team, this organization, meant so much to the Bay Area, East Bay, and of course, the city of Oakland. So it's going to be rough to just never see them play at this Coliseum. But until next time, follow me on IG at RockPaperFood, and let's go with the best outro.